my book. No, it can't be. My prediction is that the Half-Blood Prince, interesting, is part of him in Harry's scar. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another reading vlog. If you're not aware, I am reading the Harry Potter series for the very first time. In today's reading vlog, we're going to be reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which is the 6th book in the series. If you are not aware, I actually have a reading vlog for the first 5 books in the series. So there's one for Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix. So if you haven't seen those already, pause this video right here, go and watch those reading vlogs and then come back to this one so that you're all up to date. But as I mentioned, in today's reading vlog we are going to be reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I'm actually a little bit kind of, I was going to say emotional, not emotional, but I am feeling a little bit of something because like we're coming to the end of the series now. And something that I have to admit is I'm actually filming the intro for this reading vlog the day after I finished Order of the Phoenix. However, the reason that I didn't actually start it yesterday when I finished reading Order of the Phoenix is because I did actually feel a little bit burnt out. But I don't think that that's from the book in general. I think it's because I decided I was just gonna try and get the book finished in a day, and I read, I think it was like 200 pages yesterday, which isn't a lot, but for the length of the book as a whole, you know, it took some getting through for someone who doesn't typically gravitate towards big books. Now that we are on the second to last book, I am really feeling some anticipation as to what's actually going to happen at the end of this series. I do have my thoughts and ideas of what might potentially happen. I just want to get started, so now I'm going to take you into the reading portion of this vlog where I'm going to read this book with you guys, and then I'll come back to you at the end to give you my rating and review. I've tied my hair up and I've put this really loose t-shirt back on just to be nice and comfortable. But before I get into the reading portion of this vlog, I just wanted to talk to you about something. So obviously this is the reading vlog for Half-Blood Prince. I actually need to put it on my Goodreads. Obviously when this vlog goes up that you're watching, there will be 6 reading vlogs up, but as I'm filming this clip there's actually only the first 3 live, and Goblet of Fire actually goes live tomorrow. And when I decided to start making these reading vlogs, I honestly just started making them because reading vlogs were something that I wanted to try out over here on this YouTube channel. I hadn't really made them before. I'd watched them quite a bit but I hadn't kind of made any. For a long time people have been kind of surprised that I've never interacted with Harry Potter, so when I decided I was going to read the Harry Potter series for the first time, I thought this might have been like a nice start to kind of introducing reading vlogs onto the channel. In terms of making these videos, I literally just made them with the intentions of documenting my thoughts and feelings as I was reading the books, in which case I could go and look back, and if anyone else enjoyed them that would have been fine. Now obviously I am a smaller content creator, so in terms of views and everything I wasn't actually expecting much, and that was absolutely fine with me. And when I got up this morning, I always go and check back at the previous reading vlogs to see if anyone's commented and to kind of, you know, interact with people. To my surprise, the reading vlog for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets has passed 1,000 views, which is surprising to me for a couple of reasons. When I originally started this reading series and these reading vlogs, I asked on my Instagram story what were people's favourites, and Chamber of Secrets didn't come up. However, some people have commented on the reading vlog saying that they do really enjoy Chamber of Secrets. I wasn't actually expecting Chamber of Secrets to be the popular vlog as I'm filming this clip. Philosopher's Stone went up 2 weeks ago, Chamber of Secrets went up a week ago, and Prisoner of Azkaban went up 6 days ago, so they're all still very new in terms of upload. But yeah, the views on that video have just wildly exceeded my expectations. And something else as well that these vlogs have kind of taught me is that on a general sense, so this is outside of Harry Potter, but in relation to reading vlogs, I've actually really enjoyed making these. So reading vlogs as a general will probably feature on this YouTube channel a lot more going forward. If you like the reading vlogs and you'd like to keep up with my reading on a general sense, then make sure to subscribe. Back to the actual topic of this reading vlog. We're going to be reading Half-Blood Prince, and it's so funny because I was just on TikTok and a video come up of someone reacting and talking about their reading experience with Half-Blood Prince, and I actually turned it off because I was like, I don't want anything to spoil this reading experience for me because I'm literally about to start reading the book. So the plan for today is to edit, or at least start editing, the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog. I have not looked back at the footage for the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog. I am a little nervous because obviously it's the longest book in the series. That's making me think that it's going to be the longest reading vlog. It's going to be a big one. I'm gonna try my best to keep it as short as I possibly can, but we shall see. And then hopefully today I will get some more of this book read. I did read a little bit of it. I'm only on chapter 3, which is page 32. Something that is quite interesting is at the beginning of this book, this is the first time we've really kind of heard the Muggle world's interaction with the Wizarding world, like when they're talking to the Prime Minister. Narcissa, I believe is her name, has gone to see Snape about Draco, so intriguing. My plan for today is to actually do some editing, which is why my appearance looks like this. But I thought I would just give you some updates of what I've read in this book so far. I haven't read so much of it. I read a bit more this morning. I'm on page 68, which is chapter 5. But one of the kind of prominent things I have noticed over the series, played a part in the beginning of this book, is that Harry is constantly told and reminded, and it's explained to him that people think he is exactly like his dad. He looks like him, he acts like him, so on, and that crops up in the series numerous times. But something else that crops up is that when they describe Harry being like his dad, a lot of the time they point out that he's like his dad in all ways apart from his eyes, which are like his mum's. We've had quite a few mother characters, some good, some bad. And something that was said in the beginning of this book and the bit that I've read, it's in the chapter where Harry meets Horace Slughorn and Dumbledore leaves Harry alone to talk to him, and they're just having what Harry thinks is a general conversation. However, it was pretty obvious that Dumbledore did it purposefully because he knew that Harry was going to be able to convince him. So Slughorn says, "You look very like your father." Harry says, "Yeah, I've been told." He says, "Except for your eyes, you've got," and Harry interrupts with saying, "My mother's eyes." Yeah. But the bit that kind of stood out to me is Slughorn is explaining that he actually worked at Hogwarts when Harry's parents were there, and he remembers them, especially Harry's mother. And this is kind of prominent to me, I think, because we hear a lot about Harry's dad. Obviously we hear about his mum as well, but all we've really heard about her so far is that she protected him as a baby. He's got her eyes, and then we heard about her when we were seeing Snape's memory. So he's basically talking about her and he's saying that she was one of the brightest students, and he says she ought to have been in my house, however she wasn't. And he explains that he was the head of Slytherin. Now the reason that this is kind of prominent to me is because he says that she was in Gryffindor, which is where Harry was sorted into. But if you've read the series, you'll know that when he first went to Hogwarts at the age of 11 and the Sorting Hat was sorting him into a house, it was torn, and Harry was convinced, you know, he was saying, don't put me in Slytherin, don't put me in Slytherin, and he ended up being sorted into Gryffindor. He was sorted into Gryffindor, she was sorted into Gryffindor, but the idea of Slytherin has kind of played into both of them. So yeah, I haven't read much of this book so far, but there have already been some very interesting things, I feel, for the plot. Hello, Twinny! Do you want to say hello? He's just woke up. He was napping in the other room. So I just sat down to start editing and my computer says that it wanted updating. I saw this as the perfect opportunity to read a little bit more of my book, and I've just been reading it. But whilst I've been reading this book so far, like from the beginning, something that I thought I would just mention to you guys that is in relation to the books. So if you watched the previous reading vlog, which was the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog, I spoke about my big book fear, everything to do with that. And I just want to say that there is something so satisfying about holding this book. Also, we just learnt that Mrs. Weasley likes to be called Molly Wobbles, which makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But I'm gonna read a bit more of this whilst I wait for this to finish updating. There's now 4 minutes, so I'm gonna read a little bit more. I did do some reading yesterday. It was interrupted, so I didn't actually do a lot of reading. But I did read some of this yesterday. I didn't get a lot read. If I haven't included the clips, basically, I was saying how I don't do a lot of reading in real time in the vlogs. Like in terms of sitting down, reading and sharing my thoughts with you at the same time, for a couple of reasons. One of them being sometimes my thoughts don't actually come to me whilst I'm reading, sometimes it's like afterwards. And then the other reason was sometimes it's just not practical for me to do that. I read late at night, people are in bed trying to go to sleep, so sitting and talking to you like this just is not practical. Sometimes people are home and there's a lot of noise going on, so it's just easier for me to do it when people aren't here. But sometimes I read when people are here, so I have to separate the clips. But today the house is empty, so I have a little bit of time where I can read a bit of this book with you guys in real time. In about an hour I'm going to be going to my dad's, but my dad's house is going to be empty as well, so I'll be able to do like some more reading there. So yeah, the plan today is to do a lot more reading of this book, and I also want to make some edits on the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog as well, because today is Saturday and the vlog actually is due to go up on Wednesday, and I have a busy couple of days coming up. On Tuesday it's my mum's birthday and we're going out for a meal and all of this kind of stuff, so really I only have today, tomorrow and Monday to get these things finished. I was just waiting for the kettle to boil whilst I was talking to you, so I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea. I'm currently on page 143, which is chapter 9. Something to just quickly mention to you guys before I forget is, I know I've mentioned a couple of things in the reading vlogs about like my reading habits and, you know, things about me as a reader. Another thing about me as a reader is when I'm reading books, this goes for books that are like 300 pages long, it goes for books that are longer than that, like even like Order of the Phoenix, which was 800 pages, it can apply to a book like that as well. I mark milestones in books, not literally but like physically, mentally in my head. I mark milestones, and my milestones usually run by per 100 pages, so 100 pages in, 200 pages in, 300 pages in, I will tell myself I want to get to page 100, I want to get to page 200, and so on, depending how far into the book I am. Just to kind of give you a bit of context as to where I am in terms of the plot and the story. Harry had been at the Burrow, they went to Diagon Alley to get their school supplies, and they saw Draco up to no good. And it's really not sitting well with Harry. He really does think he's up to no good and he's up to something, and Harry is convinced that Draco might be a Death Eater. Snape came to meet him at the gates to escort him into Hogwarts. They've learnt who their new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher is. If you've already read these books, you're going to know the plot and everything that happens anyway, but I do try to kind of share my thoughts and feelings and what's been going on in the books without spoiling it for anyone who hasn't read it yet because obviously I do think most people probably have read this series or seen the films. However, look at me. I'm going to be 28 in 2 weeks time and I'm reading them for the first time, so there might be someone out there watching this video who's also reading them for the first time, so I don't want to spoil it too much, but I do like to give updates and thoughts and things. I didn't get any reading done before I came around here. My reading today probably won't be very consistent, so I'll probably like read a chapter, do something else, read a chapter, do something else. But yeah, I'm gonna read a bit now. I think I'm just gonna sit here to read. Do you wanna say hello? Oh, my camera battery's running out. My prediction is that the Half-Blood Prince is Snape, because Snape used to do potions, and the book that Harry was using says this book is the property of the Half-Blood Prince. That's my theory. I'm gonna go and get something to eat, then I'm gonna read more of my book and edit some of the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog. Harry can understand him because he's speaking Parseltongue. She's Voldemort's mum. Interesting. This is why I don't read in real time. I've read that entire chapter in real time with you guys and I don't have anything to say. I have not taken off my coat because it is actually so chilly. Like, to say that we're in August and it's September on Sunday is craziness. The first thing on the agenda for today is to finish editing the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog. Although the Bluetooth thing keeps coming up on my computer, so I'm thinking either my mouse or my keyboard might be running out of charge. I've edited the majority of it, it's just the final few days of it and the final few clips that I need to put in. Then once I've done that, I'm gonna kind of step away from it and read some more of my book. I'm like halfway, so I'm gonna read some more of the book today. I'm hoping I'm gonna actually get it finished today, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, I washed my hair this morning and it's like dried like really like whew. I've taken my coat off. I've admitted defeat. I just remembered that I have a couple of book thoughts to share with you guys. I've read a little bit since the last time I filmed for the vlog. I've read a couple more chapters. I don't remember what I read with you guys in the last clips. I think it was when they were talking about Voldemort's mother. We learnt about the necklace. Katie Bell was cursed by it. Harry believes that it's something to do with Draco, but the others don't believe that. And we learnt that like Dumbledore went to the orphanage and invited him to Hogwarts and like all of this kind of stuff. So I'm on page 252, which is chapter 15. I just finished the complete rough cut of the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog. I'm gonna step away from it for a minute and then come back to it and edit it down, and it's definitely gonna need editing down because it currently stands at an hour long. I'm gonna cut it down, I'm gonna add all the text and everything that you see on the screen, and then it'll be good to go. So I'm just getting ready for the day, and I thought I would just talk to you whilst I'm just getting ready because I have something that I can share with you guys that's not reading related, but it's reading vlog related. So for those of you who don't know, if this is the first of the reading vlogs you're watching, which it shouldn't be, but if it is, I have 5 other reading vlogs in this series up on my YouTube channel by the time you see this one. As of right now, today as I'm filming this clip, it's Wednesday and the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog is due to upload at 6 p.m. Now, obviously, I'm not obligated to upload these reading vlogs or anything, but my little OCD-filled brain likes the idea of them being consistent and me uploading all of them consistently and to time, and all of the others I've uploaded on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. So I actually finished editing the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog on Monday, and my plan was to export it onto my external hard drive, and if I had time to upload it on Monday, and if not, I would upload it this morning ready for 6 p.m. When I went to export it onto my external hard drive on Monday, it kept saying that there was a problem with the file, and it kept saying that there was a problem with the file at 13 minutes. At the time I was in a rush and I didn't really think about it. I just kind of was like, okay, I'm gonna have to see to it on Wednesday, because yesterday was actually my mum's birthday and I was going out for birthday plans with my mum and my sister and my nanan, because all of us are Virgos, Virgo babies. But when I came home on Monday and I'd had something to eat, I thought I'm just gonna have a look at my external hard drive and see if I can see anything on the external hard drive that would suggest like there's a problem. So basically what I'm thinking is the problem. I think my external hard drive doesn't have enough storage left to store the reading vlog. I think it's got enough to store up to 13 minutes. And then it doesn't have enough after that. So yeah, my plan this morning is to finish getting ready and then go and buy a new external hard drive and try and export the reading vlog. I'm going to go and get the external hard drive, and then whilst it's exporting, I'm going to read more of my book. I think I'm like, if I had to guess, I think I'm like 60% of the way through it. So I'm on page 271, which is chapter 16. Obviously, by the time you see this reading vlog that you're watching now, the Order of the Phoenix reading vlog will have been uploaded. So obviously I solved the issue. I'll update you guys when I get back and I'm at the computer and I'm trying to export the video. I've exported the vlog and I'm currently uploading it, but it has another 5 hours before it's due to go up, so I don't know whether it's going to go up at 6 o'clock like it was meant to, but it will have been up by the time you see this video. I think it's just going to be a reading day, seeing as though my days were a little bit interrupted and I had to change my plans around. Oh, sat on my book. So the vlog is still uploading. Hello, Tweeny. But it's uploading pretty quick actually for it being a longer video. It's not actually taking as long as I thought it might do. So what I am actually going to do, because this house is nice and quiet, whilst I'm waiting for the vlog to upload, I could read more of my book and I could give you some updates in real time. Yeah, so I'm on page 271, and if my maths serves me correctly, I have 271 pages left to read. You spotted yourself in the camera. It's currently 20 to 5. The vlog is due to go up at 6. I have just over an hour. The vlog itself is 45 minutes long. So I'm gonna watch it back now so that I've got time to watch it back before 6 o'clock. It should go up at 6 and we're still on track. And then we'll get back to reading a bit more of this before I go and have some tea. I actually feel a little bit funny today. I wasn't going to mention it, but as time's progressing, it seems to be getting worse. I don't feel ill. I don't feel like I'm coming down with like a stomach bug or anything. I feel travel sick, but I can't be travel sick because I haven't been anywhere. So I'm hoping it's gonna pass if I keep myself hydrated, I keep having something to eat. My fringe is so puffy. I got up this morning, got ready. I had a couple of videos that I wanted to film. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to tell, but I'm a little bit nasally. So I think what the plan is going to be for the rest of the day is to finish my book. I'm on page 291, so just short of page 300. Once I read this next chapter, I will have passed page 300. So we're roughly like 200 and something pages from the end and don't have the capacity to do quick maths today. But I just wanted to point out that I am a bit nasally today because I don't know how well it's going to come across in the next few clips, but back in the computer chair, my nasaliness has vamped up so much. There's a hair in my book. So yeah, I'm going to read some more of this now while I wait for this to upload. I do have some other videos and things that I can edit, but I don't want to sit and stare at my computer screen for too long. So I figured what I would do is edit a video, read, edit a video, read. Ow. Dumbledore said that he has 2 more memories to show Harry in the lessons that they're doing. And the first one was like Voldemort's mother and how he came about to be an orphan and like all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just about to read the second one. I've just read the bit that says, Harry recognised at once, tall, pale, dark-haired and handsome, the teenage Voldemort. Also, I'm trying to talk to you in these clips about what I'm reading, but at the same time, I'm so nasally and snotty that I'm also trying not to talk to you too much. If I had to guess where I think he's getting the memory from, I think it might be Slughorn. Just based on the fact that the chapter's called A Sluggish Memory. But I'm probably wrong. They're about to go and look at the final memory that Dumbledore wants Harry to see. So they've just looked at the 2 memories and both of them were like very short. The final one was a memory by Slughorn, but Dumbledore said to Harry that it's been tampered with, there's things missing, and Dumbledore wants Harry to find out what the full memory is, like, and get the full memory from Slughorn, and he believes that Harry can do it. The memory involved Voldemort asking about Horcruxes, but at the end it says, so obviously Dumbledore wants Harry to find out the full memory because the memory that Dumbledore has been tampered with. And the guy in the portrait says, I can't see why the boy should be able to do it better than you, Dumbledore. And Dumbledore replies with, I wouldn't expect you to, Phineas. So Dumbledore thinks that Harry is more likely to get the full memory from Slughorn than Dumbledore would be, whether he asked him again, used magic, whatever it might be. So now I'm questioning, why does Dumbledore think that the person who's going to be able to get this full memory, or the way that they're going to be able to get this full memory, is if Harry gets it from him? My thinking is because the memory was to do with Horcruxes and Riddle was asking like, what do you know about them? And then Slughorn has like tampered with the memory so that Dumbledore can't know the full extent of it. I'm thinking that this memory in general has something to do with Harry. Now obviously Harry wasn't born at the time because he was still at Hogwarts. Voldemort was still at Hogwarts in the memory, so obviously Harry wasn't born then. But I feel like it's gonna come full circle and it's gonna have something to do with Harry. Like further down the line, obviously not in that exact memory, but like further down the line. We've got to find out more about the Horcruxes and like what they are and what all of that means. Oh yeah, there's a chapter called Horcruxes. I'm not cheating, I'm just like flicking through very quickly. But yeah, there is a chapter called Horcruxes, so I should have a better understanding as I read like further into it. I mean, if Hermione doesn't even know what a Horcrux is, that's a sign. Why is Harry the one who's going to find out and Hermione doesn't even know what they are, has never even heard of them? I'm gonna have to take this bobble out because it's in so tight. Oh, they're just giving me a headache. Oh. Okay. I am like 93% certain that Snape is the Half-Blood Prince. It just said when he was trying to work out the antidote that he remembered Snape saying something about it, about the thing that he needs for this potion. All clues lead back to Snape. If it's not Snape, I'm going to be very shocked. The video's finished uploading, so I'm gonna pack my things away and go home. I am so ready for something to eat. I really can't lie. Also, this camera battery is running out, so that is perfect timing. Finish reading this book because I am let me check. I am less than 200 pages from the end of the book. Let me actually put it on Goodreads and see exactly how far away. Yeah, so whilst I wait for my sister's parcel, I thought I could read more of this book with you guys, and because the house is nice and quiet, we could read it together. I'm currently on chapter 20, page 352. Harry is still trying to find out Slughorn's memory in relation to Riddle asking about the Horcruxes. I'm just reading about the memory to do with the cup and the locket, and obviously in one of the previous memories we saw about the ring that Riddle also took, and I don't know if I'm kind of way off the mark or what, but I think these items are gonna be some way related to Horcruxes. I don't know what Horcrux is. I feel like in some way he needs these items for it. Like, my mind hasn't really worked out how I'm connecting those things. I'm just going off the loose fact of he asked about them, he was like so interested in them, and now he's like stealing all these items. Obviously I could be wrong, and I probably am. It says here, Dumbledore's talking to Harry, and it says, "I hope you will understand in due course exactly what those objects meant to him. But you must admit that it is not difficult to imagine that he saw the locket at least as rightfully his." Oh, the final memory that he's going to show him is a memory of his own. Why was he wanting to come back to Hogwarts? Was he wanting to take over? Is that what he was wanting to do? But that seems quite obvious. So we've read the first 5. Now we're like almost finished with this. And something that I've come to realise reading these books, which is a detail that I actually really like, nothing is mentioned on accident. But a little bit ago, in the previous chapter, there was mention of a girl who dropped some scales and they were walking past. Hermione helped repair these scales. They carried on walking, didn't think about it. And now we've just learnt about the significance of this girl. But when I read about her dropping these scales and things, I instantly knew. I said to myself, this girl is going to be of some significance. And we've just heard why this girl is so significant. Who knew that Ron would be the one to come up with an idea of how Harry can get the memory out of Slughorn? Did not see that coming. That's one of the biggest plot twists that's happened this entire series. He's taken the potion and he's said that he's going to Hagrid's, even though he's supposed to be getting the memory. But thinking about it, surely he could use the potion to get the memory and to find out what Draco's doing. Because the whole point of the potion is that you feel lucky, and he said that the problem was he couldn't get into the room, no matter what he tried, in order to see what Draco was up to. But surely if he took the potion to feel lucky... But he's on his way to Hagrid's, so he's bumped into Slughorn, and he's convinced him to come to Hagrid's. Harry used the memory of his mum and Slughorn's lie cover to get the memory from him. And now we're on the chapter Horcruxes, but it just finished with Slughorn saying, "You're a good boy," said Professor Slughorn. Tears trickled down his fat cheeks into his walrus moustache. "And you've got her eyes. Just don't think too badly of me once you've seen it." No, it can't be. He was wanting to find out about Horcruxes. But why do I feel like this is going to have something to do with when Voldemort killed Harry's parents? Oh, they're about to see the memory. Oh, we're back where the memory was broken. He's just told him what a Horcrux is. And based on the definition, I am very certain that this is why he was stealing all of the items that he was stealing. Okay, so there's still about 10 pages left of the chapter about Horcruxes, but based on what I've just read, this relates to him murdering Harry's parents. And I have an awful feeling, I'm probably wrong, but is part of him in Harry's scar, and that is why he experiences it burning whenever he's feeling like some type of emotion, and is the rest of him in these objects that he keeps stealing, or that he has stolen. But he said that he wants 7. Well, he said, where is it? Can you only split your soul once? Wouldn't it be better to make you stronger to have your soul in more pieces? I mean, for instance, isn't 7 the most powerful magical number? Wouldn't 7? And then Slughorn interrupts him. The diary is a Horcrux. So they believe that it's been split. Harry said into 7, but Dumbledore said into 6. And 2 have been destroyed, the diary and the ring. So in a sense, I guess that means that they're making him weaker. But firstly, no Harry, not 7 Horcruxes, 6. The 7th part of his soul, however maimed, resides inside his regenerated body. I have just finished the Horcruxes chapter. I'm on page 427, and something that I've just read that I thought I would just mention in this video because it actually links to a comment that I received on one of the reading vlogs. The comment said, "Do you think that Harry is gonna survive?" That's how I think this is gonna end. Not this book, but this series. I think Harry's gonna come face to face with Voldemort, and I think Harry's gonna come out on top. In response to the question of, do I think Harry's going to survive? I do think he's going to survive. And that's how kind of justice is going to be served in a sense for what he did to Harry's parents, what he did to everyone else. I've been to my dad's, I've come back, and now I'm going to read more of this. Probably going to be a night of non-communicative reading because there's a lot of noise going on. I knew that Myrtle was looking for Malfoy when she saw Harry and Ron in the boys' bathroom. Harry just kissed Ginny after they won the match. My mum just gave me a cup of tea. I think Dumbledore's gonna end up dead by the end of this book. His name's the Half-Blood Prince. Where are you? There you are. Last night I finished reading Half-Blood Prince. I don't actually have the book with me because I've finished it, and instead I have this one with me. I was really pleasantly surprised. The final 150 pages that I had left to read flew by so fast. Like, it was so quick to read those final pages. The death that occurred didn't surprise me because I kind of knew it was coming at some point. But the way that it happened, the camera battery ran out. But yeah, the way that the death happened did surprise me. I've got a couple of things written down actually. I may as well just talk to you about them now. Didn't feel all that sad about Dumbledore. Obviously it's sad, but the bit that did make me feel sad about it is when McGonagall is talking to Harry and she goes into the office and Harry is saying how he's like used to it being Dumbledore's office, but now that he was gone, it obviously wasn't Dumbledore's anymore. It said that now that he's gone, his portrait was hanging on the wall. That bit made me feel a little bit sad. And another thing that I'll just quickly tell you about. So when I kind of mentioned to my family that I was going to go and sit and read the rest of my book because I was getting near to the end and I thought that I could finish it, my mum's partner said to me, she was like, I haven't had many book updates from you lately, like what are you up to? And I said I've got about 100 pages left of Half-Blood Prince. I think she has read the books, but I think she's seen the films multiple times, so she's more of like a film Harry Potter than a book Harry Potter, and obviously I've not seen the films, I've only read the series. Almost read the series. And at the time I'd just read the bit about the Horcruxes. And I said to her, I have a theory about what's going to happen. And she was like, go on, tell me your theory. So I told her my theory. I said, I'm probably wrong and I'm going to be embarrassed if I am because I'm so confident in my theory. But I told her my theory and she sort of just smiled a little bit. Didn't confirm or deny. The way that she smiled at me, I'm thinking maybe I'm at least on the right lines. Not necessarily correct, but at least on the right lines. I don't actually remember if I have said in this vlog what my theory is. By the time this vlog goes out, I am not sure how much of this book I'll have read. I am going to start reading it today as I'm filming this clip, so I will have made at least a start on it, but I'm not sure if I'll have finished it. So when it comes to my theory, if you want to make a comment about it, please be aware that if I haven't finished this book by the time this vlog goes out, there is a chance that it could spoil it if you kind of tell me too much. But if you do want to leave a comment about my theory, that's fine, but just maybe word it in a way that's not too much of a spoiling comment. So my theory is, I don't have the book with me so I can't directly quote, but when we were learning about the Horcruxes in the book, it was said that 7 is this magical number. I think there's going to be 7. It goes back to what I believe I've said in this vlog of nothing is mentioned accidentally. I just feel like the number 7 is significant and prominent. In which case, if there is 7, my theory is that they are the ring, the diary, the cup, the pendant, and then they've said that they think there's something from Ravenclaw and there's something from Gryffindor that they don't know what they are yet. They've got to discover them. If there's 7, I think the 7th one will be Harry Potter. Knowing what Horcruxes are, what they mean, what they do, what they're used for, that in my mind leads me to believe that Harry Potter would be the 7th one, and in order to defeat Voldemort, Harry has to do it. It can't be anyone else. And I think that that's how this book's gonna end. I'm on to the final book now. So that is it for the reading vlog for Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So in the end, I gave this book 4 stars, and I definitely think that this is one of my favourite books of the series. I definitely think that this plot kind of stood out a little bit more to me. It was definitely more enjoyable. It gripped me a lot more than some of the other plots in the series. I actually managed to guess the Half-Blood Prince, and I actually managed to guess it quite early on. I think it would come as more of a surprise to a younger reader than a reader my age. Something else that I really enjoyed about this book is I really enjoyed the beginning element of hearing more interaction with the Muggle world and how the Muggle world interacts with the Wizarding world and how much the kind of Muggle world knows about the Wizarding world. I really enjoyed that element of it. And yeah, overall I think that this is one of my favourite books in the series. I haven't read Deathly Hallows yet. Maybe Deathly Hallows is gonna overtake all of them. But that is gonna be it for this reading vlog. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching it. I cannot believe that we only have one more reading vlog to go. I shall see you again in my next reading vlog. Bye guys! So in this reading vlog we are going to be reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.